Hello, thank you for being here. I am Bong Nee Mel. Today I would like to talk about the Gardner's multiple intelligences and academic performance among mechanical engineering students in Politeknik Kuching, Sarawak, a correlation analysis. Firstly, the introduction. The theory of multiple intelligences was developed in 1983 by Dr. Howard Gardner, Professor of Education at Harvard University. According to Armstrong, the theory of multiple intelligences saw its importance in school education and in adult learning and development. The objectives of this study were to explore the type of intelligences which are strongest and most often used by the respondents, to examine any differences in the multiple intelligences due to gender difference, and to investigate the relationship between the multiple intelligences and the students' academic performance. So the respondents in this study were the mechanical engineering students, semester 2, session of June 2020 in Politeknik Kuching, Sarawak. Now we move on to the literature review. There are 9 intelligences proposed by Gardner: the verbal linguistic intelligence, the mathematical logical intelligence, the musical intelligence, visual spatial, bodily kinesthetic, interpersonal, naturalist, and the existential intelligence. There are numerous studies relating to multiple intelligences and academic achievement. For example, McGould and Mohammed, a statistical relationship found between the multiple intelligences and the students' motivation and language proficiency. According to Salehi and Jermain, author, most engineering is endowed with the logical mathematical intelligence, but by applying the other intelligences, we bring the students an extra advantage. Hernandez et al. There was no clear evidence of association between the multiple intelligences and the grades in the school subjects. According to Arben and Paul, the multiple intelligences were interconnected and supported to each other. The verbal, linguistic, and the visual spatial intelligence were correlated moderately with the academic achievement. According to Arben et al., the verbal, linguistic, bodily kinesthetic, logical, mathematical, and musical intelligence was significant positively and moderately correlated with the academic achievement. Cantil also said that the teachers must employ the multiple intelligences among their students and encourage them to cultivate it in the learning process for better academic performance. According to Iding, the multiple intelligences based learning and teaching techniques was seen to influence positively on the students' success. According to Imendu and Yutoku, the properly implementation of multiple intelligent teaching strategy could enhance students' achievements. Ikis and Chaka say that the academic achievement scores were found to be dependent on the students' multiple intelligences. And finally, Habibullah Nadali et al. Said that the aspects of intelligence were not significantly related to the academic achievement for both genders. Okay, for the methodology, this study was a descriptive survey. The respondents were mechanical engineering students of semester 2, and the analysis used in this study were descriptive statistic, independent sample t-test, and Pearson product moment correlation. The assessment used in this study were the multiple intelligences for adult literacy and education, and also the separated items for existential intelligence. For the academic achievements measurement, the first semester cumulative grade point average was used. This figure shows the demographic of respondents. According to gender, there was 69% of male students and 31% of female students. According to engineering programs, the majority students came from DKM, 61%, diploma in mechanical engineering, and it followed by DAT, 24% automotive students, and 10% of manufacturing students, and only 5% of air conditioning and refrigeration students. From this table, it was found that students were stronger and most often used the mathematical logical intelligence, the interpersonal, and also the bodily kinesthetic intelligence. The less dominant used was the existential intelligence. The mathematical logical intelligence was highly developed among the mechanical engineering students due to the needs of this ability in solving engineering problems, engineering calculations, and logical thinking as well. This table shows the Gardner's multiple intelligences according to gender. The findings show that the difference between the male and the female students in all the multiple intelligences was statistically insignificant. The male students were more dominant in the mathematical logical intelligence, the interpersonal, and the bodily kinesthetic intelligence, while the female students were dominant in the interpersonal, the verbal linguistic, and the mathematical logical intelligence. This table shows the correlation between Gardner's multiple intelligences and student academic performance. As can be seen, the correlations of the 5 intelligences with the CGPA of the students were positive but low, such as the verbal linguistic intelligence, word smart, the mathematical logical intelligence, logic or number smart, the musical intelligence, the visual spatial intelligence, picture smart, and also the bodily kinesthetic intelligence. The remaining four intelligences, people smart, the interpersonal intelligence, self-smart, the interpersonal intelligence, the naturalist intelligence, and also the existential intelligence, were low and negatively correlated with the CGPA. The top three highest positive correlations belong to the visual spatial intelligence, the mathematical logical intelligence, and the verbal linguistic intelligence, which they seem like more related to the engineering field. This was supported by the previous study, for example, Arven et al., Cantil, Hernandez et al., and so on. These four intelligences, the people smart, self-smart, nature smart, and the life smart, were negatively correlated with academic, might be due to the irrelevant or unrelated of such intelligences to students' academic studies. This finding was supported by the Arven and Paul and Cantil that some intelligences were weakly or even not so correlated to the academic achievement. Some intelligences really saw the relatively higher correlation indices. For example, the musical intelligence with the interpersonal intelligence saw the highest intercorrelation of R0.468. The lowest intercorrelation was found on the existential intelligence with the interpersonal intelligence with R negative 0.009. As a conclusion, the overall survey results found that the respondents were stronger and most often used the mathematical logical intelligence, and it followed by the interpersonal intelligence and the bodily kinesthetic intelligence. The findings also saw that the difference between the male and the female students in all the multiple intelligences was statistically insignificant. The male students were more dominant in the mathematical logical intelligence, while the female students were more dominant in the interpersonal intelligence. The positive but low correlations were found between the verbal linguistic, mathematical logical, musical, visual spatial, and bodily kinesthetic intelligences with the academic performance. The negative and low correlations were found between the interpersonal, naturalist, and existential intelligences with the academic performance. Some of the intelligence types saw higher intercorrelations indices with the others. This survey may have provided the important and useful information for lecturers and Department of Mechanical Engineering to help students to discover their self-knowledge, talents, and abilities from the aspect and theory of Gardner's multiple intelligences in the learning and core curricular activities, so that the students can cope with their academic and non-academic performance in the study. For future studies, we can determine the Gardner's multiple intelligences profiles and their relationship to the academic performance for the non-engineering students. A longitudinal study can also be conducted to observe the developments or changes in the students' multiple intelligences over a period of times and its relations to the academic performance. Thank you, everyone.